Hey, so your goal is to speak English fluently, like a native English speaker. Well, in order for you to sound like a native English speaker, there are certain English words that you must know. So in today's lesson, I'm going to give you the word you need to study in order to sound like a native English speaker. Word you must know. Are you ready? Let's jump right in.
Embarrassed.
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 Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed means feeling uncomfortable or nervous and worrying about what people think of you, for example, because you have made a silly mistake, or because you have to talk or sing in public.
Embarrassed means feeling ashamed or shy.
Embarrassed means feeling or showing a state of self-conscious confusion and distress.
Embarrassed means shy, uncomfortable, or ashamed, especially in a social situation.
Embarrassed means feeling or showing embarrassment.
Synonyms for embarrassed: ashamed, shy, uncomfortable, self-conscious, awkward.
Antonyms for embarrassed: unashamed, composed, arrogant, comfortable, proud.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
You totally get embarrassed. You totally get embarrassed.
I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed.
I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed.
I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed.
You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me.
Getting embarrassed makes them lose control. Getting embarrassed makes them lose control.
Your woman looks embarrassed. Your woman looks embarrassed.
You look embarrassed, Rue. You look embarrassed, Rue.
He looked embarrassed for me. He looked embarrassed for me.
You embarrassed the girl. You embarrassed the girl.
Embarrassed her? I embarrassed her? Embarrassed her? I embarrassed her?
I'm embarrassed to admit. I'm embarrassed to admit.
You have no reason to be embarrassed. You have no reason to be embarrassed.
Nothing about crushes, I get embarrassed. Nothing about crushes, I get embarrassed.
I flashed an embarrassed smile at everyone. I flashed an embarrassed smile at everyone.
I was deeply, deeply embarrassed. I was deeply, deeply embarrassed.
I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it. I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it.
Quakers were deeply embarrassed. Quakers were deeply embarrassed.
I felt deeply embarrassed. I felt deeply embarrassed.
If I were them, I would be deeply embarrassed. If I were them, I would be deeply embarrassed.
I have a sample that I would be highly embarrassed to show. I have a sample that I would be highly embarrassed to show.
So I want to say thank you to watch this video. I love teaching English. I love helping you achieve your goals, and when I hear your stories, man, they just make me so happy and make me want to work harder to help you achieve your goals. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.